My name is Maya, and in my group is Tatiana, Zoe, and Annabelle. We chose to study how AI in photography is impacting across industries, a system mapping approach.
We open our project with this quote from my cousin, who's a photographer named Robert Sturman. He said to me, AI can generate beauty, yes, but it can't stand in the prison yard with me while I photograph a veteran practicing yoga to heal his PTSD. We chose this because it captures the heart of our research, the idea that AI can enhance photography, but it can't replace the human emotion, presence, and connection that make photography so powerful. Using a systems thinking approach, our group combined interviews, case studies, and visual mapping to explore both the opportunities and risks AI introduces. We spoke with people in different industries, from photographers and lawyers to art consultants and hospitality professionals, to see how each sector defines authenticity in an AI-driven world. Right now, AI's role in photography exists in tension. On the positive side, it's boosting efficiency and accessibility. Companies like Uber Eats already use AI to edit food photos, and new tools allow anyone to produce professional-looking images. It's also inspiring artists to experiment in new ways. But these benefits come with real risks. AI can devalue human work, create job loss anxieties, and blur trust in what's real. As deepfakes and synthetic visuals grow, distinguishing authenticity becomes harder. So, our key insight is that AI helps and harms photography at the same time. Its impact depends on the industry, the purpose, and the people behind the lens. This slide breaks down the causes and effects of AI's impact on photography. On the cause side, most of the momentum comes from economic and cultural pressures. AI is simply cheaper and faster, and society tends to equate new technology with progress. But at the same time, we're seeing blurry boundaries between real and AI generated images and weak regulations that hasn't caught up. On the effects side, that's creating serious trust issues. Even real photographs are now questioned. There's also job displacement for photographers, aesthetic homogenization, where AI decides what looks professional, and ethical uncertainty around ownership. Overall, AI's rise brings efficiency, but also deep questions about authenticity, creativity, and human value in visual work.
Following our cause and effects, we wanted to highlight specific key events and emergent trends that may account for the reasons mentioned by Zoe previously. Across industries, AI is reshaping photography in real time. In journalism specifically, real images like this Kamala Harris rally photo are being doubted as AI generated, showing how mistrust now shadows authentic work. In hospitality, restaurants use AI to enhance menu and promo photos, prioritizing visual appeal over realism. In the art world, AI exhibitions spark debate over what counts as human creativity. And lastly, in education, professors like Vesna Pavlovic question how AI tools like iPhone cameras affect learning and artistic integrity. Many of these ideas will be touched upon again when Annabelle speaks more about our interviews, but we did want to mention that together these examples show that AI's impact on visual culture isn't theoretical, it's already unfolding across everyday life. Next, we wanted to highlight one of our visual system maps. This cluster map shows how AI is changing photography across industries with our legend to the side. Some of our successes include greater efficiency, accessibility, and creative flexibility. Failures center on blurred authenticity and fears of job loss in visual professions. Some of the gaps reveal the need for clearer copyright laws and stronger regulations. And opportunities lie in AI literacy, collaboration between humans and machines, and global standards for transparency. Overall, AI's role extends beyond technology. It's redefining how we trust and interpret images in today's digital world. Additional visualizations that we've created are here, including our stakeholder map, impact gap canvas, iceberg diagram, and more. Next, Annabelle will cover some of our interviews.
Okay, perfect. To explore how AI is influencing photography across different sectors, we conducted 4 interviews, each offering a unique lens into how people are defining creativity, authorship, and authenticity in this new era. We began with Sheridan Smith, who studies narrative, agency, and global ethics in AI. She emphasized that AI is what we make it, meaning it reflects the values and intentions we bring to it. Sheridan advocates for ethical collaboration and global transparency standards, calling for a shift from fear-based rhetoric to a mindset of stewardship and responsibility in AI adoption. Then we spoke to Robert Sturman, a fine art photographer who believes that AI can expand creative possibilities. It can't replicate the human presence, emotion, and trust that define authentic photography. He predicts that as AI-generated images become more common, human-made photography will actually gain value precisely because of its imperfections and emotional depth. From a legal standpoint, Haider Diab, an intellectual property lawyer, explained that under current US law, copyright protection still requires human authorship. Fully AI generated works can't be copyrighted, which raises complex questions around ownership and disclosure. He warned of reputational and legal risks when artists use AI without transparency. Finally, we interviewed Charlotte Walters, an art consultant who noted that in today's art market, authenticity is everything. She explained that collectors are becoming increasingly interested in the story and intention behind art, not just the final image. Paradoxically, the rise of flawless AI visuals has made human imperfection more desirable, reinforced in the lasting importance of authenticity and human touch in art. Taken together, these interviews reveal how ethics, law, and creativity all commence all are all intertwined. And yes.
So, as we consider all of the research that we conducted and the interviews that we dug into with some of our fantastic subjects, one of our biggest takeaways from the research was how quickly the conversation around AI and photography is evolving. So, first and foremost, one of the most prominent things that we noticed was that authentic photos are now sometimes being falsely accused of being AI generated, which really flips the narrative. Instead of people being fooled by AI, we're now seeing real work be doubted. So, that growing mistrust can seriously undermine artists and photojournalists who are doing things the right way or the more traditional way. Secondly, we notice how AI is already being adopted in hospitality, especially through companies like Uber Eats, which are embedding AI into their marketing and operational workflows. It's a sign that this technology is moving from a theory to a real world implementation very quickly. And finally, something that we took away specifically from our interview with Sheridan Smith was that she reframed AI not as a competitor, but as a collaborator. She said, AI is inherently derivative. What we say AI is what AI will be, reminding us that the way we narrate AI actually shapes its future trajectory. So that leads to some key questions we're still exploring. For example, how do the stories we tell through photography influence AI's development? How will copyright and ownership adapt to AI assisted work? And ultimately, will AI replace or just supplement human photographers? So, to wrap up and to amalgamate all the things that we have been considering and learning throughout our research, is ultimately what we've learned is that AI isn't replacing photography, but reshaping it. Across industries like journalism, hospitality, art, and education, we're already seeing major benefits from faster workflows to new forms of creativity and accessibility. But with those gains come real risks, especially the erosion of trust and blurring of what's authentic versus what is artificial. The future of this relationship really depends on what Sheridan implored us to consider, which is collaboration between artists, technologists, policymakers, and educators to create standards for transparency and to educate the public about what they're seeing. Ultimately, AI should complement the human touch, not erase it. The lens of photography is widening. It no longer just includes cameras and subjects, but also algorithms, regulations, and cultural values that shape how we see the world. Thank you so much for tuning in to this talk on the intersection between AI and photography across industries. And here are some references.